Hey guys, so I'm finally back to finally do a video about something that is most requested, which is how to come out as trans to parents. Today I'm mostly going to be talking about coming out to parents that are probably not accepting or you may not know, but I'm going to try to cover all the bases. So the first thing I want to tell you is my experience. However, my experience is a lot different because I decided to transition after I'm already an adult, so it's a bit easier. I didn't really feel like going around telling everybody because I didn't really find or think that it was their business, so I chose that route. If people asked me, I would tell them, but otherwise I didn't really feel like I needed to go around telling people because it just wasn't what I was comfortable with. However, for a lot of you who are still living at home, who are experiencing this, I wanted to try to give advice to you. So the first thing that I think is the most important for you to understand is that I am just someone on the internet. I can't quite understand you or know you as well as anyone else. I mean, I'm talking like in a therapist aspect, family, friends, all that kind of thing. Like, I can't know for sure what's the best situation for you, so you kind of have to gauge this based off of your situations in your life. So for me, the most important thing is if your parents are maybe not going to be okay with it, you can kind of gauge that based on if you told them things in the past and they've kind of reacted bad about it. That's kind of a good way to gauge on whether or not they might be upset. So the first thing I would do is if you start feeling like you might be transgender or you're having body dysphoria, gender dysphoria, any of those things, my first suggestion would be to talk to a therapist. Now, you could ask your parents if you could see a therapist because you've been feeling pretty, maybe you can say you've been feeling a little depressed, or you've been having, like, you could tell you've been having body or gender dysphoria if you feel comfortable telling them that. If not, just tell them that you would like to see a therapist for maybe depression or maybe some other problems that you're going through. And then if you speak to a therapist, you may be able to tell them how you're feeling, and if they are able to help you, they might be able to understand you more by talking to you and getting a good picture of how you're really feeling, and maybe they can suggest you to a hormone replacement therapist, or maybe that person can actually help you with hormone replacement. They also could help you with coming out to your parents. Maybe if you spoke with them for a while and got your story told, told them everything you're feeling, and just progress over time how you're feeling and how you feel towards your body or gender dysphoria or even your depression, because a lot of times it could be, your pronouns, your name, how your body's changing through puberty. There's just so much, and it can trigger and make you feel really depressed and sad. The main thing for me is that it would cause me to have anxiety, so you might have a lot of anxiety, and that may make it hard to tell your therapist or your parents or anyone, for that matter, because you're scared of how they'll react. But I definitely think you should see a professional, and if you talk to a professional about how you feel, then I think it would be a lot better if you brought your parents into the therapy session and talked with your parents and the therapist about how you're feeling. Therefore, that therapist could explain to your parents what it is that you're experiencing and why you're feeling this way, and kind of basically validate you. Because sometimes parents are just like, oh, you're just a silly kid, you're just going through changes, you'll get over it, it's just a phase. But sometimes it's not a phase. Sometimes it's the reality is that you might be transgender or under the trans umbrella. Another thing is that if you do decide that you're comfortable with telling your parents, you do want to make sure that if you do tell them that, even if they do react coldly, or maybe they don't accept it, or maybe they are arguing with you and saying that they don't believe you're this way, there's a lot of things that could happen that could go wrong. Maybe they'll be accepting, and it's really hard. It depends on you and your family. I can't really say that what the reaction will be. So if that's the case, like, another thing you might be able to do is go to your school and talk to a counselor there. Talk to someone who can help you at your school, who might be able to get you in touch with somebody that can reach out to you and help you. Because you're not alone. You do have people out there who will support you. It's just whether, like, it's just basically finding that contact and being able to get in touch with somebody who can help you. And your school is probably the best bet if you cannot, if your parents won't let you see a therapist or they think you're fine. Because therefore, maybe if you get with the school counselor, then maybe they can bring your parents in and talk with your parents about how you've been doing, because, you know, your parents do love you. They want what's best for you. And so if this is a real big problem, they do need to know about it. But you do want to make sure that you're healthy and that you're in a right environment. Some people just wait until they're 18 to tell their parents, because maybe then they have a way out and they don't have to feel like they're trapped at home. However, I know that can be hard if you're still like young, like, you know, in high school or even maybe in middle school or even younger. So for those people, I'm just trying to suggest to you that speak to a school counselor, or try to get some, like, speak to a professional, someone who you know you can talk to, who will listen, who cares about your health. And the main thing I would definitely try avoiding is, if you do tell your parents, try to keep it at one small thing at a time. Like, if you're gonna tell them something, make sure it's like one thing at a time. Don't like open up and like explode and tell them all these things. Like, you don't have to go into detail about like your sexuality or religion, or you know, you don't have to like break it all open at once. Be like, these are all the things I feel and have been thinking. Just try to open, like, you know, one worm at a time, and just kind of slowly let it happen. Because if you press yourself and you also like press your parents, it could end up freaking you both out and having a bad reaction. So I'm just wanting you guys to know to hang in there. Just give your parents time things take time. Nothing happens overnight. It's gonna take a lot of time, but if you're really serious about this and you want your life, if you feel like you are not living your most healthiest life or your best life, then, and you are having all these symptoms or feeling alone in your transition, then it is the best to reach out for help and reach out to a professional. And as for like, once you do start a transition, if you realize that, hey, I am transgender, or, you know, anything under the trans umbrella, the best thing to do is find a good community of friends and get support through friends and family. For me, a lot of my support came from my friends. Honestly, conventions, like anime conventions, were like a big thing for me, because everyone there was very accepting and it was easy for me to talk to them about it. So being able to talk about how I felt with other people and having them accept me, it really helped me understand myself more. So just, you know, keep yourself, find hobbies that you like, friends, do stuff that makes you feel comfortable, you know, and don't be afraid, and don't let what other people think hold you back from being who you are, who you want to be, because you are the only one that has to live your life. So live it to its fullest and love yourself and be happy. And that's all I have really to say about this. If you have any comments or questions, you can put them below, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. And if you have any other video requests you'd like to see me make, I shall do that. As always, me and Leah are still making videos. It's like raining right now outside, and it's humid and it's awful. I thought recording outside would be nice today, but I feel disgusting. So, it's good to talk to you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Hang in there. Love you. Bye.